Boy, this all made us start thinking when we saw this last night, because heart health and safety are, of course, top of mind for many people, especially when you see something like this happen. So this afternoon, we brought in paramedic Caleb Rozier with the Carrollton Fire Department. He is here to kind of break some things down for us, maybe remind us of some things that maybe we learned a long time ago. And, you see something last night and you think, what would I do if, somebody, went down like that around me? First of all, we were talking about this before we came on. You were actually watching this game last night.
Yes, sir, I was.
What's going through your head when you're seeing this? I would imagine that you're always looking at situations and thinking, how would I respond to that?
Sure, and we do it pretty routinely in the city of Carrollton and like other municipal fire departments around here. Damar Hamlin was in the best place he probably could have been. The out-of-hospital cardiac arrest survival rate nationwide is about 10%.
That's not very good.
It's not very good. So the fact that he had people who knew what sudden cardiac arrest looked like and were able to start CPR and had an AED close by, it gives him the best chance possible.
We were talking about this beforehand. You said he might as well have collapsed in the middle of a fire station. He had it that good.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, I'm assuming that his medical staff there with the Bills, that they train for this, they have all the tools they need, and they were right there and saw it all happen and responded in minutes.
But we see those AED devices in a lot of places where we work now. A fair number of people know how to do CPR, and yet we see those survival rates outside the hospital, if this happens to you, not being so great. So today we're going to get a little bit of a refresher in a little while about CPR and the things that you need to do and be aware of. But first of all, let's talk about cardiac arrest. When we saw this happen last night, I think a lot of people were just in shock. Talk a little bit about the ways that can happen. A lot was made when they kept slowing down that video of him being hit in the chest like that.
Sure, and I don't want to make too many assumptions.
Right.
There's a lot to be determined there, but there are a number of reasons why somebody can go into sudden cardiac arrest, which without a moment's notice, there is an electrical malfunction within your heart, which is just an electrical pump, basically. And so he went into a fatal dysrhythmia. We don't know why. And within 3 seconds time, it looked like he was on the ground. And so the rapid response is important to begin CPR and to get access to an AED. You have a 10-minute window of time. Every minute that goes by, about 10% of your chance of survival goes out the window.
Wow, that's quick.
So the rapid response was key.
So many people, I think, are familiar with heart attacks. This is a totally different ballgame, because in this case, it's not just that you've had a heart attack and that things are going wrong. It's that the heart has stopped if you've had cardiac arrest. It
has stopped pulsing. The blood is not going around through the system, getting that life-giving oxygen to the brain, to all of your organs. Heart attacks can lead to sudden cardiac arrest, but sudden cardiac arrest is where it stops completely.
He's got some things going for him here. He's young. We can presume that he's in really good shape. He's in the NFL, which is a group of very elite athletes.
Sure.
We don't see things very commonly happen like this with somebody in this age group and with this fitness level.
And I think that's what makes this so unsettling, is that it is a young man, a professional athlete, happened on national TV, but 350,000 people a year in the United States suffer an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest. So to widen this out and put it in a little bit perspective, what happened to Damar Hamlin last night happened to roughly 1,000 other people yesterday as well.
Wow.
So it doesn't happen as often in that age group, but it does. And so if we can train bystanders to know how to do CPR, to keep their eyes open for where AEDs are, to be willing to act on behalf of your fellow man, we will see more lives saved, because it takes time for a paramedic crew to show up, right?
Right.
He was lucky to be in that situation.
Had him right there.
Right there.
Last thing before we go here, are there things to look out for with cardiac arrest, or does it usually just happen with no warning?
It's going to happen with no warning.
Okay. That's unsettling. So again, it all comes down to what the people around you know, and are they able to help you out with that.